113 degrees and my thighs are burning. Oh god, the perks of owning a super bike. Oh fuck, 114 and 116 the high temperature warning comes up, and I don't know, this is crazy. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I just need a free road right now. The bike is going to give a overheating sign now at 116 degrees. Oh god, okay, got a free road. Oof. Let's roll. So yes, welcome back to my channel guys, and oof, it's kind of hot and the bike is even hotter. And yes, what I want to do right now is till she cools down, I'm kind of give you short-term ownership review that I've had with the Ninja 1000 2020 SX, and it's been really nice. Firstly, this is my first super bike after the Ninja 300. So the Ninja 300 is not a super bike, but this is a full top-end super bike with all the electronics. So I'll just brush past you. So I don't want to do a walk around of the bike, I'll do that later. So what I want to do is ride the bike and tell you what I feel. So that what happened back there was one of, let's give way for the ambulance. So what happened back there was a thing that you have to live with super bikes. In traffic, it's horrendous. So my legs are burning right now, and the bike is cooling down. It's 111 degrees now, so it will cool down. And yeah, so what I want to tell you is what I've felt with this bike while riding. So I've taken it to Mahabaleshwar, Nasik, Malsej Ghat. So I've taken this bike everywhere. This bike is a very easy bike to live with, and it's not very complicated, though it has all the electronics and all that. So this guy's in a hurry. So I'll just give you an overview of each feature that I've used in the bike. So when I talk about the bike in person, it's a big bike, 238 kilos, and the fuel tank is 19 liters. So on a full tank, yes, the bike does feel heavy. When you tip it into a corner, yes, you kind of feel the weight. It's not like a ZX6R or a 10R that is easily flickable. Yes, you need to give it your input and then the bike will steer. Coming to the comfort factor, yes, the bike is really super comfortable. The handlebars are nice and wide, so you have that leverage. You have rubber mounted handlebars. You have the foot pegs are rubber mounted, so not much vibrations do come on you. The pillins, foot pegs are also rubber mounted, so that's an added comfort. Pillion comfort is increased with the seat being changed. The seat is now thicker. Okay baba, move on. So ergonomics are spot on. It's a sports tourer. You need power and comfort both at the same time, not just power. So that the bike does very well. So right now I'm cruising at 80-82 on 6th gear, and the bike is not at all knocking. It's really comfortable. The rider triangle is really upright, nice and upright, though it is not very aggressive. It's not a very aggressive position. I'm 6 foot. I can easily stretch my hands onto the handlebar and relax and have a chill ride. Coming back to the ergonomics, it's spot on for the pillion rider as well. So I take my wife touring, so she comes with me. We have done a Mahabaleshwar trip, not at all discomfort for the pillion. And coming back to the electronics, now the bike is loaded with electronics. So you have, first of all, ABS, second you have cornering ABS, you have KIBS, which is Kawasaki Intelligent Braking System. Now what that does is, I'll tell you when I'll explain the rider modes. So you have rider modes, four rider modes. One is Sport, Road, Rain and Rider, which is customizable. So Sport is power, full power and traction control 1. This has traction controls. You have 3 modes of traction control. Okay, what happened here? You have 3 modes of traction control. So Sport mode is full power, traction control 1, which is least intrusive. Road mode is traction control 2 with full power. Rain mode is the most intrusive, which is traction control 3 with low power. So full power is 140 bhp, what this bike offers. Low power is 100 bhp. So that keep in mind. Now when I talked about KIBS, KIBS comes into play when the braking system intervenes, wherein you have your cornering ABS, you have your TCS, your traction control system, and your ABS comes all into play where the ECU handles it. So the one good thing about Japanese bikes is that, and when I talk about Japanese, I'm specifically Kawasaki, the electronics are not very intrusive. So when I say intrusive, it's not interfering in your daily riding. So that is one good part. The bike, you have to ride the bike, you have to be in control rather than the electronics being controlled. Yes, the electronics are there to help you, help you in conditions that are not favorable. If you have wet, slippery conditions, gravel, all that, the traction control will help you. But mostly you have to be in control. That is what I like. The second electronics is the ride-by-wire. So along with ride-by-wire, now you get cruise control, which I'll demonstrate in a while. And if you see these buttons here, I will explain a complete separate video explaining the features of the cruise control and the buttons, the various navigation buttons here, the TFT screen. So that's a lovely dash that you have there. It's the not crispiest of dash which you can see in a Triumph or a Ducati, but what I see is basically a lot of information on the dash. So when I toggle through when I do a video on the TFT dash separately, I'll take you through each and every step. And yes, in terms of electronics, yes, the other electronics which I've added is a quick shifter. So when I talk about quick shifter, it is bi-directional, which is up and down both. So you have an auto blipper as well, and it's lovely. I have everything in this one package. The only thing that I'm not getting from the 10R is the launch control and the wheelie control, but what I have, I don't need that in a sports tourer. What I need is cruise control. Quick shifter does come in handy, though people say that I won't be using it. Once you get used to it, it's really nice. So if you see, I'm not using the clutch. It works really well above 3000 RPM. You see the bi-directional one. So I downshifted now without dumping the clutch. Though I don't get into the habit, I just use it whenever I want to. Otherwise, I'm definitely using the traditional way of braking, changing the gears. Dump in the clutch, change the brake. So this ride-by-wire throttle is, the throttle action has become seriously light. So sometimes you feel that the throttle cables have actually snapped off. It is so light. And yes, it has LED lighting all over. So what I'll do right now is I'll demonstrate the quick shifter, because we have got a red signal, and when we have red signal, oops, okay, so I'm on first. That's how simple it is. That's how simple it is. So we're getting other red signal, though I'm not going to do that again. I'll show you the cruise control. So cruise control works above second gear and above 30 kmph. So I'll show that to you in a while. Okay, that I broke the signal. So we'll wait. Okay, it's our turn. So once I'm rolling, I put the quick shift, the cruise control on, and I give it a set, and that's it. It's on. This is set at 76, 77 kmph. If I want to increase the speed, I just have to hit this button. You see, I'm not even giving a throttle. So that's how it is. If I want to disengage, I either hit the brake, the clutch, or just hit the throttle in the reverse order. There, the cruise control is cut off and I'm on my own. So that's really nice. This really comes in handy when you're touring. When you're touring, you can use the cruise control and you will get exceptionally good mileage. So I have actually taken out a mileage of 20 kmpl from this bike, which is fantastic for a inline 4000cc. My Ninja 300 used to give me 27. Maybe a KTM 390 would give you somewhere around 28, and this is a 1000cc with a whole lot of weight and a lot of power. And yes, so also what I want to comment upon is the weight distribution. Though this is a very heavy bike, you don't feel it because the weight is distributed really well. And since this is BS6, yes, the bike is really silent. Though I've put an exhaust, I have put a Yoshimura exhaust, which I will cover in another video. And yeah, what I just wanted to touch points on the way I feel with the bike. Comfort, on a scale of 10, I would give it 8.5. Yes, you do feel sometimes on long journeys your knee little hurting, but then a stretch break of 2 minutes is good enough. Otherwise, you can sit in the saddle all day long. And in terms of power, I would give it an 8. Braking, yes, braking, you have a double disc in front, you have a single disc behind, both are Nissin. The braking is really nice. So you have the safety net of cornering ABS, you have the safety net of ABS, you have traction control. All this aids you in your braking. So I have braked really hard when you know, from triple digit to double digit, and the bike did not scare me at all. This bike is a very forgiving bike. And when I say forgiving, it's not like a 10R that will scare you or a Daytona that will scare you. But yes, it's a very forgiving bike. You got to spend time with it, knowing how it is, because the bike is very different as compared to the BS4 bike. I will do a comparison of the BS4 and the BS6 bike in another video, so stay tuned for that. And a beautiful product from Kawasaki. It does everything, and as the official ad says, it's the best of both worlds, where you get power and you get the comfort of a sports bike. So the Versys 1000 also has the same engine, but what the Versys 1000 does is it's basically more of an adventure tourer. This is a sports tourer where you can have a kind of a fun which you cannot get in the Versys 1000, and that's how I say it's best of both worlds. And that's why I purchased this bike, to get a feel of a sports bike as well as something which is really comfortable and something which is very practical. So Stay tuned guys, so the next I will be uploading more videos coming up on my channel. So do let me know what you feel in the comment section below, and any queries, any comments, do feel free to drop them in. So stay safe, ride hard, ride safe, wear your gear, and stay safe during these COVID times, and wear your mask. Also, apart from wear your mask, wear your helmets as well while riding. So that's very important to be safe, not only against COVID, but also in this crazy traffic world. Be safe, ride hard. Thank you guys. So I'm not going to be a Rossi here.